Hello and welcome to Soul Love with Kimness. I am Kim van der Zande, your host, and I'm super excited to share another episode of Soul Love with you, where we share inspirational and empowering stories from the heart. We talk about the beauty and the shadows as both are part of the ascension journey, to remind you that you are powerful, you are magical, and to have trust in what you feel to be true deep within. Enjoy this next episode of Soul Love. Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Soul Love with Kimness. I am your host Kim van der Zande and I'm super excited to today share the magic of my beautiful friend and soul sister Marianna Chilli from Greece. I'm so excited to welcome you in this space.
Thank you, Kim. I'm very happy to be here, and it's a really beautiful idea, bringing soul family together and sharing our sisterhood.
It is, yes. There's so much magic within us just coming together and sharing, and yeah, also much wisdom that we have embodied and that we have experienced, where there's so much to learn. So I always love to ask the question, like, what would you say to yourself if you would look now back a couple of years ago? What would have been your advice to support yourself in the journeys you've been on?
Yeah, so basically the past 2 years, I think collectively and for me as well, have been very transformative.
Yeah.
And so it's like fast track, things have been going really fast, and the transformation and the amount of knowledge and wisdom coming up has been in the collective as well as for each one of us quite powerful. And I think what I would say to myself 2 years ago would be patient and persistent.
Yes.
Don't give up, have faith as well, like in yourself as well as the divine timing, because what I've noticed for me in the spiritual journey is that, you know, when there's so many layers to it, and there's so many different sort of stops and junctions on the way. So every time I feel like, oh, I'm ready to create something, I'm ready to do this now, like maybe I am, but there's this divine timing that it requires a certain kind of faith about when is actually the right time for things to happen. And for me, I think that took me a while to digest and to accept. So,
yeah, but that,
like, trust the divine timing for every manifestation.
Yeah, because we're so used to, when we get an idea, to just force it to be created. But we both feel, and I think most of us, we feel that when we really align to this higher calling, and when we allow the divine feminine to co-create with us, it's allowing it to unfold, allowing it to grow and build in your field. And through that, the manifestation will come. But it's not always to be grasped with our logical mind, and then our ego tries to think a lot of things about it and tries to so it's really an important journey of faith and trust. And and also what I also notice within myself, and I like also when you create something, you can say, oh, I want, like for me in the beginning, I created a program and I thought, no, I want to have 20 people in it, and then but in the end there were 3 or 4, but it's not giving up, it's trusting that when that program, that also through me taking the leap to create that was already the growth and expansion I needed to go through. And then the layers of like, I'm not good enough, but all these creation opportunities create expansion, or they create a momentum for you to grow. And it's not always, so it's letting sometimes go of really like the goal, but seeing the opportunity of like with you as well, feeling the inspiration and just stretching yourself to create something like that. And then through that, in the end, maybe a couple of months later, it happens, but it's by trusting the process and trusting the creation within yourself. And so I think that's
sometimes I feel it's like trusting the process, but I feel it's like also finding the balance between the masculine and the feminine, like and these energies within us, because like I used to be very much in my masculine, and I was like a doer, like I do this, I do that. But the feminine is more about like the inspiration, the joy,
it is,
the being not too perfect, like surrendering, letting go of expectations. And so like marrying these two opposites, but sort of, like the divine balance of this union within. And what I've noticed is sometimes I have to there's guidance in what is happening. Definitely faith is important in oneself, and that is something that gets built through the process of creating and then assessing the situation and creating something new. But sometimes I feel it is also guiding me to go to a certain direction that I thought wasn't the one. And ultimately actually finding yourself in the process and finding what is actually for you. But
it's again letting go in that part. Also it's like sometimes things happen, like also sometimes following a program, or sometimes it's also with us, like sometimes you're there to meet a certain person. It's not even the program, or it's not even, and also when you're being guided to create something, you can think, oh, this is the result I want to get, but it's just trusting that it will unfold, and maybe there's a connection that needs to be made, there is an awareness that needs to rise, there is a trigger that needs to be cleared. But it's just constantly coming back to that faith in yourself, that each time you leap, beautiful things open up, and that you're in the right place at the right time. And but it's stepping into that embodiment piece where you are content with what is happening in the now moment, and you can see the signs and the beauty. And and I think you do that beautifully, embracing everything, but also just
thank you.
Moving
thank you. I agree with you. And also I've noticed that every time there is a certain difficulty in manifesting something, or like there's a push or something, there's a layer that clears. And it's beautiful, because you're like in resistance mode, like, oh no, I don't want this, oh no, this isn't happening, oh this happened again, or and then it's so beautiful, like going inside and doing the work of shedding the layers, and becoming freer and freer. I think it's a process of empowerment and sort of liberation, and freeing ourselves from the burdens that are keeping us. And it's ultimately not about the outer manifestation, because that will eventually arise. It's ultimately, it's about just being better.
No, but the
happier.
Is being ourselves. Yes, it is. Yes, but that's what it's all about. It's about being happy in each and every moment, and embracing life in its fullness, whatever happens. And the more you allow these layers to be cleared, the quicker also you are able to shift when a new thing comes up. And that's also like we sometimes share, like, oh, that when you stretch yourself and when you grow and when you expand and you come again against this same, that you think, oh, I cleared this layer, but it's just a deepening essence that's sometimes being represented. And it's not you stepping back, because that's a powerful reminder as well. We sometimes judge ourselves so much and say, oh, haven't I learned this lesson? No, you're just being presented with a beautiful opportunity to find the root cause, because most of the time we're also been taught to only clear that, like the surface layers, the things you see, but we are being invited to really do the inner work, to go to the root and the essence of what is being seen and showed and presented through a situation or a trigger.
The root is the most important. But what I've also discovered is, like, this work of healing is a spiral. So so going back to certain specific areas in our lives that are not functional, basically we're clearing on a higher level, and sort of our wisdom grows and becomes deeper about these aspects of us. And these are tools of knowing ourselves, and and going deeper in the process. And it's always about the core wound.
It is,
and going to the root cause, and transforming from there, because from there everything begins, and there's always like a repetition of stuff.
It is. Because we can choose to walk away from them, but in the end, if we're not willing to face them, it's like they show up in different ways. We get these opportunities constantly if we're not willing to see what is happening.
I've noticed also that when something comes up that is part of a past trauma or issue, or a pattern that is not resolved, it doesn't help, a pattern that is not helpful for our lives, or for my life. I've noticed that when I grow, these patterns show up, but they're more subtle. It's so much harder to notice. They come like hidden behind I don't know, somebody who has a really amazing personality and you know, really good way of being and talking and everything. But there's this subtleness of the old pattern of like small manipulation.
Yes.
So, and there it's like the universe or your higher self or God is not really a test. It's like, well, it is a test, but it's a test, but it's also it it is also a training.
Yes.
For us to see through
Mm-hmm.
the illusion
It
more deeply.
Yeah.
And that is within us. The illusion is within, and it shows up outside.
The message for me that came up this morning so strongly is like truth, real, authentic truth. And that's different for everyone, but that is loving. It's like feeling within yourself, is this aligned for me or not? But that's loving. It's not like all the beauty that we create around. No, feeling the truth, like being truthful to yourself. And but these things also come more subtle because, but I also feel that as we raise our vibrations, as we embody higher states of consciousness, it's also inviting us to become more aware of the subtle energies around us. So it's also in a way constantly inviting us to deepen, like, do we really see the signs, and are we really present in the now moment to see what is happening from our truth? And that can be different for you than me and everyone else.
Yeah, that's an example. Like, but it could be anything.
It can be anything. But if you look back at your journey, what are modalities that has helped you the most, or what is your way to shift when you feel slower vibration come up? Or,
oh my God, so many.
Yeah, but is there one that you think of? Yeah, I know.
Like, I spent some time choosing.
Yes, but that's always good. It's always good to experience, because we are here to experience. And
so one of my most automatic responses is to go to nature, walking, swimming, eating a tree, walking in the sea. It's like, you know, on the beach or in the mountains. I guess connecting with nature is a really good way to really connect with ourselves and cleanse whatever vibes we have. And nature is healing, transformative.
It is.
Of course, other than that is I do movement of the body to sort of release density in the body. So I do shaking and some other exercises that are like, you know, shaking, moving the body, making sounds and stuff. And of course, meditation, but different modalities of meditation, like visualization of gratitude, of connecting with spirit, with the mother, the divine mother. And if I need to feel safe, I visualize more the masculine, like the divine masculine holding me. And when I feel hurt, is the divine mother, the love. But usually if I'm really finding it hard, is movement.
Yeah, for me too, dancing. It's like,
and gratitude shifts my energy immediately. Like, remember what you're grateful for, and like bring it inside your body, and like light the density in the body from a place of being grateful. What are you grateful for? And there's so much to be grateful
but I love how you combine both, like, or all these different elements of you, like being in nature, using your physical body to let the energy move, and then also connecting to these higher dimensions, because I think we are this vessel that has different energy bodies, and that has different, and most of the time in our higher dimensions, if we would really raise, there is no separation, there is no illusion, no trigger, because then we see our truth. It is mostly within these denser layers of our body, of our 3D reality, that we feel triggered. So it's beautiful that you use like these energies, ways to dance and to be in nature, to really allow the energy to also shift in these physical elements of our beingness. And
thank you. It's also because all of these elements that we've been talking about, they help with the emotions, because I feel like emotions are what in this reality are indications of what's happening. And the emotion is not the root cause. The emotion is a message, the messenger.
Yes. And
but then it stops you from actually realizing what's going on. So it's like, I'm doing things to kind of release the extra emotion, the sort of
so you can listen to the message of the true message of the emotion, instead of the overwhelm and the trigger and
the true message of the messenger. Like, What
Yes.
is it? What is it that's happening?
Yeah.
And on a deeper level, I might have felt,
Yeah.
that I'm not important for someone, and that hurt me, and then blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Story, blah, blah, blah story.
Yes, we have all of these stories in our lives. Yeah, but it's moving away from that overwhelm and moving away from the really like stepping into the resistance and really finding the truth in that. But I think also when we grow up, how amazing would it be if we, like I teach my girls as well, like your emotions, your feelings, but also your field, like if it's contracting or expanding, it is a way for your higher self to communicate with you. But we are not being taught now at school or when I was growing up, like to use these messages of my body, of my emotions, of my field. And I think that's, yeah, I think that will be a huge shift if you from when you were younger would be thought, okay, if you feel like you want to cry, cry. And if you feel like this emotion comes up, this is the true message, what it wants to share with you, instead of going into the reaction mode and doing all those things. Yeah.
I'm so happy you just spoke about your children, because, oh my God, it was so hard growing up because I had like tantrums of anger. That has been my issue when I was a kid. And
Yeah.
I wasn't not accepted. I was like ostracized. And it's just, yeah, it's okay. I'm working. I feel much better.
But this is beautiful. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I've learned ways to deal with this. But when I was a kid, it was so hard because like I was so not accepted. And it's so important to teach whoever has kids, these things to our children as parents, because what happens is when a child doesn't feel good about an emotion that they have, that they're not accepted, they feel shame. So we live a life of shame.
It is. Yes. Yeah, I
For
get
no
goosebumps
reason.
everywhere.
For no reason other than just
Yeah.
accepting that there's aspects and layers of us that have this unresourcefulness, let's say, have this difficulty in expression.
Yeah. Yeah, but also when we grow up, I noticed sometimes, like even when I have a day where I'm not as energized as I would be, it's sometimes like also with your children, they respond a certain way, and then you like it's an old pattern that then comes up and says, oh no, I'm not available for this right now, or I'm not. But if we would be in this energized state the whole time, we would just say, we would honor the emotion of our child and would just say, I see you, I love you, I witness you, and whatever does this want to share with you, and which boundary is being activated, which trigger, and to really allow them to experience, like also you having these tantrums. It was because there was something not right. It was because something wanted to be seen, wanted to be acknowledged. Only your parents in that way, but it's just in the collective way. Most are not present, and they find it too difficult to deal with it themselves. And they just say, no, this is the truth, and it's not what you feel. And it's like, there's such a paradigm shift that needs to be done there. It's because our children are our future. It's like they are the ones that are creating. And yeah, it's really,
they're the new earth. But what you're saying is so important, because this is a vicious circle, is the ancestral vicious circle of generational trauma, not being seen, not being acknowledged for who you are, even in your negative emotions, let's call them, and only be accepted when you are a certain way. So basically, we don't accept ourselves and we don't feel whole. There's parts of us that are in the shadow because these haven't been acknowledged, so we don't acknowledge. So schism within. And this can stop. This can stop with awareness, consciousness, and witnessing the children. Even if the parents don't do it, the teachers can do it. Like there has to be some sort of training. I don't know.
But also honoring our inner child and really embracing our emotions, because it's like taking off these layers of judgment of our emotions, because our emotions are such a powerful tool that we have in this physical lifetime. And but I also love that you are creating, they are in Greece, but I hope at one moment they will be in English, but you are also creating beautiful children books with a beautiful message. And I think that's beautiful how you are spreading. Even though it's only in Greece, I hope it will spread.
I hope we translate that one day. I also, this is the reason that I organize the events that I do online at the moment. And hopefully soon live, and in English maybe soon.
Yeah.
That's the reason, like, so that people can see that there's different ways to heal. There's ways to go deeper,
Yeah.
into shedding layers of the past, and like giving themselves a chance to live a different life,
Yeah.
be happier, and just
Yeah.
overcome the patterns that are like ingrained, but they can be changed.
They can.
Patterns that are not helpful for
Yeah.
our lives and for the lives of the people that we live
Yeah.
together with.
And it's also noticing that doing the inner work, going through these shadow layers, even though they are sometimes difficult and power and like overwhelming, they are so rewarding, because that's also like, the more you clean up your field, the more magical things open up, the more beautiful soul family you meet, the more you can travel, the more like, but it's by you step. So it's also not being afraid of seeing and witnessing these layers within yourself, because it really is. You rise up even more, and more magical things open up, things shift more quickly, beautiful people come on your place. It's like trusting that when you are really ready to do the inner work, and not only do on the surface, but really that's why we are here for. We are here to live. We are here to fully feel our gifts and talents alive, to support us, to inspire others, to be the contribution we came here to be. But that's an inner journey.
Yeah. Sometimes when I think about what you're saying, I'm like, the purpose of our life. What is the purpose?
Yeah.
Okay, you can say so much about it, but ultimately, I think it's just to be joyous.
It is.
Be joyous. To
Yeah.
be joyous together. Like, we can do this together, and just spread the joy. Spread it. Like, you become the joy. You spread the joy.
Yeah.
So like what you were saying earlier about going deeper and deeper, so that you change patterns and aspects, and sort of accept yourself, and more wholly, more fully.
Yeah.
I feel like it's inevitable. Like, I feel that life always has a way to push us to the direction that we need to go. And we just need to listen to the signs. Sometimes they're subtle.
Yeah.
Yes,
sometimes they're very in your face.
Sometimes they're like,
now it's time.
And you're like, oh wow, I actually need to do something about it.
Yes.
And if you don't, it becomes more in your face.
It's
like, there's some sort of wisdom out there that's like, I'm gonna go more in your face now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of inevitable.
It's
very wise to just do it yourself, because the universe is gonna do it anyway for you.
Yeah, it is. But it's choosing to go with the stream of life, whatever happens, or choosing to resist, and then even more resistance comes up. But it truly is, our essence is joy. And from this space of joy, we can do everything. And it's like, we spread joy, we are joy, we infuse joy into the collective field. I think also that awareness that only you, the listener, choosing joy in each and every moment, then you are already contributing joy into the collective field. It is also owning like that we on ourselves already can bring so much change to the world. Because sometimes we're also so been taught like, oh, there's so much happening around us, and what can I do just in my own? We can do so much by choosing to not put fear and doubt and worry into that field, but to choosing to put joy and love and excitement, and then it's like this ripple that slowly goes further, and it even goes beyond our human understanding, because it goes like in all these multidimensional layers, and it's trusting, but also finding yourself worthy enough to live a joyful life. Because I think those are the most profound things within ourselves. It's like, yeah, I'm worthy of joy. I'm worthy of passion. I'm worthy of love. And yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, worthiness is so big. We can do that every day. Just meditate, I'm worthy, God. But I was thinking also how important it is for many of us to realize how the heart knows, and how living from the heart is where life is going to lead us, where we need to actually go. And resistance comes only when we don't listen to the heart. Like, resistance is, I'm not listening to my heart, basically.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Because it's because there's been so much pain and, like, sorrow and grief and suffering. The heart usually closes, and that's normal. It happens to all of us, right? Like yesterday, I was just after we met, I was doing an exercise to open my heart a bit more. I was like,
Mhm.
you know, bringing light into my heart and like telling her, I surrender, you know, I surrender to the joy, I surrender to the love and to the, I open you, I feel safe.
Mhm.
And we don't open because we don't feel safe. And what makes you feel safe? You know, wisdom, discernment, self-knowledge, boundaries.
It is. No, that's an important,
I'm
yeah.
going to write a book about boundaries.
Yeah.
I
I think
think it's
that's
like
good.
the subject of my life.
Yes, yeah,
I must do something about that.
yeah.
Thank you. This conversation has helped me.
And next book coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Boundaries, you know, what makes you feel safe. And
yeah.
then, like, the choice that you spoke about earlier is the
Mhm.
choice to listen to my heart, the choice to open my heart and feel safe because I have faith in the divine. I have faith in myself that I will protect myself in this time.
Yes,
I
that's
can go,
yeah,
I can go deeper and open up the layers of
yeah. Because that's
illusion.
it. When you feel safe, you feel safe to open up more and to really co-create with the universe and Mother Earth. And but
Mhm.
also I think also within sacred sisterhood, and it's also letting go of these layers of illusion in that, because there's so much power. I feel so grateful for all of you in my life, because there's so much power when we truly come together from this heartfelt space and where we allow ourselves to feel safe enough to be seen in our shadows, in our beauty, in everything, and to rise up together even more. But also in the collective field, there have been so many, also just in women, like the paradigm of women is like, no, we fight each other and we do all these other, well, I don't even know the English words, but we do all these other things.
Antagonism, it's like antagonistic.
Yeah, but it's letting go of that, because there's so much power in us coming together and really like honoring ourselves and each other and seeing each other and choosing to rise up even more by co-creating. And I think that's also, I think when women truly choose to come together and to own, because sometimes you're being triggered in relationships, in friendships, that's fine. It's an opportunity for growth, but then own your own process and choose to be together in this space of love and sharing, because that's the real growth. It's like also embracing that you sometimes get mirrored and then loving the mirror and then allowing yourself to be seen and witnessed and to be held in that space, and to, because we are not alone. And that's also what this podcast is also about. It's like we are not alone, but it's also inviting you to be vulnerable enough to be seen in the depths of your being, and so you can connect on even deeper layers, because that's where the real growth is. And yeah, I'm so grateful that I can share this journey with you, and that it's like, yeah, because this is truly empowering what we are doing, and to be seen and to be witnessed from this depth space of our beingness, I think. Yeah, and I would invite everyone, open yourself up to someone you feel safe enough, and create this beautiful foundation of even more elevation, because that is what it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. And basically for me, this sisterhood, it's an alliance, and
It is.
it's empowering, but at the same time it's deeply healing. And
It
that's why
is.
it's
Yes.
sisterhood. Sister is like
Yes.
a family.
It is.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, family is where you feel safe to be yourself and grow in
Yeah.
love. And this love is feeding the soul, and the safety comes from this like soul love,
Yeah.
really, because it's on an even deeper level, because like, yeah, this sense of faith and trust is actually our relationship with the divine. And I feel this sisterhood for me is like opening up to the divine, because
Yeah.
by opening up to the divine, I open up to divine sisterhood,
It
to
is.
women that I can be, you know, very close to, but in a spiritual way, like in connecting with spirit.
Yeah.
And when we met yesterday, for me, it reminded me how I want to be more connected with spirit, because I'm more connected with you. It enhances this relationship
Yeah.
with the divine and
It is.
with the
Yeah.
self and with the others.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mirror and a bridge at the same time, and it's like yeah. But I think also
And an inspiration.
an inspiration. Yes, it is, and we can create these circles in many ways. You do them as well. You do beautiful women's circles and gatherings in sacred temples, and But I think it's inviting all of us to come together more, because there's so much power within us, but also within men gathering, but just coming together in sacred space and sharing and being seen from your authentic self, and then so much shifts. And yeah, but then it's the invitation to let go of the veils, to let go of all the ways you want people to see you, and to come back to the truth of who you are. And
yeah, the truth. And the sacred space, when you were speaking, the sacred space is love.
It is. Yeah.
And I want to honor you for this space, because this is a space of love.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. I thank you for being here, and we'll do another one soon. And I think the 8th November, we are co-creating a beautiful full moon circle together online. So please join us in this beautiful circle of light and love. And yeah, because there's a lot of energy, like also you shared in the beginning, energy is constantly speeding up. So it's buckle up and step into the best version of yourself, and embrace all that you are with love and with beauty. And so I thank you, Marianna, for sharing your beautiful frequencies and vibrations and your story. And I thank you, listener, for being here, for stepping into a beautiful space of who you are, and sharing this sacred journey with us. And for now, I would just say, see you in the next episode. And if you want to find out more about Marianna, the information is below. Much love. Bye.
Thank you, Kim. Bye.
Thank you for joining this episode of Soul Love. If you want to find out more about what we do, you can find it below. And I'll see you in the next episode. Much love.